All right, folks. So we got some late breaking. This is some breaking scoopage that I've got actually just sent to me by my scoop inquirers, those that are on an inquisition for scoops. So this was delivered to me. We have Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck discussing why men are so feminine. Let's watch.
Yeah, I think he's probably a good guy. They're weak. There's something in them that's weak, and they've decided, I'm not, the other side is ascendant, the left is winning. I'm not going to push any buttons that, might infuriate them. They're not lion-hearted. And this is a moment when you need people who aren't, vicious, lashing out, crazy, that I hate that, but who are legitimately strong, who will say, here are my principles. I will clearly articulate them for you. And by the way, I'll die for them. Because that's what principles are, real principles, not BS. This is the tax rate I want, but people should be allowed to say what they really believe. That's called freedom of speech. It's guaranteed in the First Amendment to the Bill of Rights. That's a non-negotiable point, period. Someone who will do that. And they're none of them. The only ones who will do it are women. And that has a lot of consequences. For one thing, it drives the women crazy. There are a lot of really angry women right now. Have you noticed? And I think a lot of them are angry because they're men.
Look at him. He's like, yeah, the women are so angry. What the fuck?
A lot of really angry women right now. Have you noticed?
Look at this
and
fucking
I think
evil
a lot
laugh.
of them are angry because
I'm sorry.
For one thing, it drives the women crazy. A lot of really angry women right now. Have you noticed? And I think a lot of them are angry because their men are weak. I do think that. I mean, I don't think that. I know that.
Whoa.
And I've been married to the same woman for 30 years. And if you want to make her mad, weak men, and this is true for I have 3 daughters. I see this all the time. Weak men make them mad because it's wrong. And this is basic and human. All the true basic human things are the things we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, right.
What is this laugh? What are the people these people insert laughs into their material so inorganically? That's not funny. I'm sorry, that's not
allowed to talk about.
Yeah,
right. We can talk about our dumb theories, but the way that people
What is that? Wait. What the fuck is that, dude? I'm sorry, but I don't know what that is. I'm looking out and I'm trying to find out what the fuck this is. But I can't. So I'm queuing up a good moment here. So.
Human. All the true basic human things are the things we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
But the way that people really are, nature itself is so offensive to our leaders because it challenges their totally unnatural program. There's nothing less natural than neoliberalism. It's an assault on nature. It's a denial of nature.
Yep.
But at its core, nature is about...
It's neoliberalism is an assault on nature? Huh?
There's nothing less natural than neoliberalism. It's an assault on nature. It's a denial of nature.
Yep.
But at its core, nature is about sex differences. Men and women are different. Does and stags are different. Their difference is the central fact of the natural world. And if something...
Now, remind me, does Tucker Carlson drive a car? Does anyone want to remind, does he drive a car? That's not natural? I don't understand, what is this whole idea that, or it is natural. Wait a second, I'm going to blow your mind. Everything that exists is natural because we are of nature, and everything we produce and we think about is natural because we are nature. So, when someone, says, hey, maybe I want to be an effeminate man. You know what that is? It's called nature. Why? Because they're a natural being that exists in nature. Right? So, if you want to have nature be, either it's, pre-civilization or it's everything. And if nature encompasses everything, then guess what? Everything is nature. Or if you want to be, the prehistoric, if you want to live in a cave and, make a fire out of sticks and rocks, and then eat a fucking salmon or whatever. If that's how you want to live naturally, okay, go for it. But if you're gonna be sitting around driving cars, going to the grocery store, like fucking using your cell phones, going on podcasts, complaining about nature, the left isn't natural enough. I don't. It's bizarre. It's strange. Like, what is this?
Falls out of balance in that relationship between male and female. Everything else is affected by it. Everything.
What?
And so at the core.
So like, is the drywall in my house affected by this distinction that exists in the natural world? Like, I'm baffled by this. Like it is. Like, I don't even know. Is the weather affected by this? Like, what is this motherfucker?
Core of the volatility and the craziness and the too rapid to digest change that's going on is this weird lack of balance between men and women. And I think it's physiological. I don't.
It goes on, apparently, but this is the only clip I got, so, and I'm definitely not looking into it. But this is what I think of your nature, Tucker Carlson. Check this out. I'm trying to crush a can, but I'm failing. Check this out. This is what I think of your nature, bitch. That's right. Yeah. This is what I think of you, Tucker. Yeah, bitch.